we're talking about last summer when we were famous. So the singles were Felony, Business as Usual, and Everyone Says. So Business as Usual, I remember that when it came out as well. That was one of my favorite songs. The notes I have is it's such a cool song between the grungy guitars in the intro, the driving bass, the clean guitar picking. My comment is, if the video game Guitar Hero came around requesting a song, would Business as Usual be one that you would submit to Guitar Hero? Because I would like to play that song with my plastic guitar that I still have.
Now that you mentioned that, probably, yeah. It's a pretty epic piece of guitar music. The riff was started off with Dan, the bass player, playing that heavy riff, and then I adopted it on guitar, and we all sort of just fell in line. The arpeggio picking is me. The other sort of reggae guitar is our friend Dave, and then Jay Bennett, who was in Wilco, did this other sort of key. We call it the Guitar Army because he recorded this thing and then we flipped the tape and went backwards, so it sounded sort of like, you know, a synth, but it's all guitar heavy. And Last Summer When We Were Famous is certainly one of my favorite records. At the time, I didn't feel that way, and now I do.
What do you think's changed that makes you feel more fondly about it?
I just think that we had a vision. We stuck it through. Jay Bennett was a great friend and mentor and helped us stick it through. And it's just one of those. I think they're called records for a reason. It's a record in time. And now I look back at it and think, wow. I look back at all of them and think, wow. You know, but that one was cohesive in the way that we put it together, for sure.
So final question about Staggered Crossing, then we'll move on to the Julian Taylor Band. So in 2004, you released your final album as Staggered Crossing, Burgundy and Blue. The singles were Grow, Perfect Prize, and Don't Get Me Started. So Perfect Prize was a top 20 hit and the highest charting independent rock song in Canada of that year, which was 2005. What most people don't know is that you were actually the radio plugger that made it happen. So how proud are you of that accomplishment? Because that's not easy to do.
Well, I got lucky, I guess. I mean, we had a good song and we had some great supporters at rock radio at the time. And it was before the big conglomerates bought everybody out. So they were taking a bit more of a risk at the time. And JC Douglas was a guy that programmed Q104 in Halifax. And I remember him and Kath Thompson at the Bear really championed that song, and then others started to pick it up. I was shocked that it did so well. I just wish we had enough money to have put out a video, because we didn't. That's one thing we didn't do, and it might have helped us because Much Music was still airing videos at the time. But yeah, I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of a lot of things. I think that, you know, proud of the records, proud of the music, proud of the people I've worked with, proud of the accomplishments, even proud of the mistakes I've made along the way, because I've learned a lot. And that was the first record I really had a lot to do with the production side of things and how things would turn out later in my career. That record was taking whatever I had learned from Jay Bennett on the production side of things, and moving forward into my career would become very instrumental in the production of all the records after that.
So I was in a band called Distant Society. We had one song that got radio play called The Cycle. And the only reason we got radio play was because Kat Thompson in Ottawa. So I had met with her, played her the song, she liked it, and she played it for a few weeks on the radio. So me knowing what it feels like to have a song on the radio is because of the same person, Kat Thompson.
She's
so
great.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Kath for sure. She was great.